My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. I distrust the wisdom if not the sincerity of friends who would hold my hands while my enemies stab me. Those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. I am a slow walker, but I never walk back. The one victory we can ever call complete will be that one which proclaims that there is not one slave or one drunkard on the face of God's green earth. This is a world of compensations, and he who would be no slave, must consent to have no slave. Those who deny freedom to others, deserve it not for themselves, and, under a just God, cannot long retain it. Character is like a tree and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it, the tree is the real thing. If you want to test a man's character, give him power. And in the end it is not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Folks are usually about as happy as they make up their minds to be. No man is poor who has a godly mother. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. Sir, my concern is not whether God is on our side, my greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. Love is the chain to lock a child to its parent. If I am killed, I can die but once, but to live in constant dread of it, is to die over and over again. For people who like that kind of a book, that is the kind of book they will like. When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Let us have faith that right makes might, and in that faith, let us, to the end, dare to do our duty as we understand it. I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live by the light that I have. I must stand with anybody that stands right, and stand with him while he is right, and part with him when he goes wrong. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. No man has a good enough memory to be a successful liar. Common-looking people are the best in the world, that is the reason the Lord makes so many of them. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. You can tell the greatness of a man by what makes him angry. You can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. I happen temporarily to occupy this big White House. I am living witness that any one of your children may look to come here as my father's child has. Human nature will not change. In any future great national trial, compared with the men of this, we shall have as weak and as strong, as silly and as wise, as bad and as good. I claim not to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me.